So based on your experience here at the church, tell me about what this church has meant to you all in the last several years.
This has been our major focus for social and community life. When we first moved to this area, we didn't know too many people at all, and as a result, finding a church was particularly important, and finding a church that had a good, strong congregation was very important to us. And so we found when walking into this church, we felt welcomed, we felt it was warm and open and inviting. We were just very pleased from the first moment we walked in the door.
And I would say this is the only church that we've ever been late to. we map-quested coming here, and we ended up at the top of the hill looking at the cross, and it took us 10 minutes to figure out how to get here. So we were late for the first time and only time to church here. But coming out of the service, I've been thinking about this, and the biggest benefit I think that I've gotten is every time I walk into this place with the body of believers is a sense of joy. And that is such a gift. And yes, there's service, there's ministry. I have appreciated our pastors challenging us to mature, to grow in our faith. And it's nice at 63 to know we can still grow in our faith. And I hope to continue that.
Great. Tell me about what. I'm trying to think of something that would really. Those are great quotes already. So if we had those, we'd be perfect. But tell me more about what have you been involved in personally here, and what has fed you from your involvement here at the church.
We've both been involved in choir, and that has been a great fellowship also. That's been very feeding and enjoyable to be around. We've liked that a lot. We've also been involved in Sunday school teaching and in various ministries like that, and also fellowship ministries of sorts. Kathy particularly has been involved with the funeral committee and some of these other committees.
Prime Timers was
Timers.
great. Did children's choir for a while, which was fantastic. We did Bible study at our home for a while, and kind of connected with our first small group kind of people, and it's just kind of grown from there. And as we get ready to leave, it hurts our soul to leave here because we feel like this is family, and it should be. I think our bodies of Christ. This is an arm or a leg or a finger or whatever. It's a part of the body of Christ. But we have felt so connected here, and in a different way, because in the past Dan has been a leader in the church, and to be just participants and part of the body of Christ, and that movement has been a real joy, and we've been able to sit together in church periodically, which is nice.
Yes, that'd be nice.
Unusual.
Yes. Can you tell me any personal stories about something here that impacted you, some memory, some story that really speaks to you about sort of the nature of this church?
I remember the funeral for Lauren. We had to set up extra chairs out in the narthex, and it was impressive to see how many people showed up to help, and then how many people showed up to recognize and remember him. We knew Lauren pretty well also, and his loss was a blow in some senses, but you could see the body of believers coming together and being very close-knit, surrounding Ruth with their love and care and affection, and that was a very impressive thing to me. I was impressed to see that.
And I can ditto that, and the other is just even now with this current injury, we didn't ask for help in packing out, and it's just happened. I mean, the people have just come, and we've had more food than we know what to do with, and they've come and they've packed in 2 days more than professional movers could do in 4 days. I mean, it's just been, and the laughter and the joy and the giggling, and the sense of people doing service, whether it's with you or for you, there's been such a joy in that, and again, maybe a learning experience of receiving those ministries from other people, because we're used to giving, and to find out that it is a blessing to let people give sometimes to us. And then we see that connection that people really care. One of our big things, we just went through the class, is, you know, we find out that the people out there, the non-Christians, don't trust us. Well, sometimes we find out that maybe in the church we don't trust one another. And what you have led us in this last year specifically, I think, is to get to know one another closer so that we can really minister to ourselves, the body of Christ, and then we have something to offer to the world.
What would you say to someone who was new here? What would you say? What would you encourage them to do as part of this body of Christ? What would you encourage them? Why would you want them to be here and to stay? What is the reason to be here?
To come, you mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, we were seeking. We weren't sure where we were going to go. And when we came here, we felt this is where God called us to go. So we would certainly encourage people to say, go and attend Tri-Lakes and go a couple of times and see if that's where God is leading you to come, because, I mean, there's great things happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just all about showing up on Sunday and looking good and everything. It's, I mean, we want to reach out. We want to make a difference.
I think it's important that people get involved in some kind of small group, some fellowship gathering, some study group, some group of some sort, in order to begin to build the kinds of relationships that are supportive and community-minded. I think all those small groups go together to make up the larger body and make it strong. And it's stronger with these small groups than it would be otherwise.
Any parting words for people of Tri-Lakes?
We're waiting for the grand reunion. You know, that is the hope, is that, you know, that makes it easier. It's hard to leave, but we know one day we'll all be together again at the grand reunion.
I would echo that sentiment. This is a hard place to leave,
Yeah.
but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We hope to find a fellowship where we go, and we will. The body of Christ is everywhere, and we'll find a good fellowship. But there's been some uniqueness about this fellowship that I don't think is going to be easily duplicated anyplace else. This is a good place to be, and I envy those people who get to stay here.
Anything else you want to add?
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. It's
been
been a
good.
joy.
Yeah, we're couldn't cut.